All right, the watch list for Friday. IFON 6.5 million shares on Wednesday, and then just kind of a quiet day on Thursday. So I think this is worth looking at. I just want to have this on watch. If it does what it did today and kind of meanders and then breaks its high of the day like in the afternoon, I bet we could get a nice trade. If not, it's not that compelling. It's not my favorite chart by any stretch, but I want to have it on watch. I like to populate my charts. I've got 6 monitors, so it's not hard to find space for some of these just to watch. And when they set up, you can be ready, right? W gapped up on earnings, 2 solid red days in a row. I had this on watch yesterday or going into today, but I didn't take any trades in it. Just goes back on bounce watch. Okay, another day down. Who knows if it's going to fill the gap or turn tomorrow? If it does turn tomorrow, we'll be ready. There's nothing pretty about this chart. Weight Watchers WTW just keeps hitting all-time lows. But I go back to like 6 sessions ago. This thing was close to 18 bucks. So it's been cut in half in Weight Watchers cut in half. That's kind of funny. Pardon the pun. All right. Anyway, so I just want to watch this for a potential reversal. What I'd like to see would be like a gap down. That might signal capitulation, and then we could buy a break of the early opening range, opening 2 or 5 minute candle. That's my favorite setup on something that's this beaten up. But again, if it doesn't give me a setup that's really interesting, it'll just be quietly on a chart on one of my monitors, and I won't do anything with it. LL, again, everybody and their mother shorten this, so you might have a surprise bounce one of these days. Again, I don't look at this chart, don't watch this video, and then email me and say you're a moron for looking long on something that ugly. I'm just a day trader, and if I get a proper intraday setup, I might get a nice bounce. So it's just that simple. NVGN. I like this one, 20 million shares, 2 sessions ago. Popped up, but then reversed another day down. I want to watch this one for a bounce. It's setting up pretty nice. I like it when they come in like that for a couple days. I don't know how much more shorts can expect to get out of it. And, another good news story could really rip this thing. It's a lower float stock, too, so keep your eyes on NVGN for a bounce. ARWR. We had this on potential gap watch today, and it never triggered. But I do like it, especially over today's high, over 836. That line is where the pre-market high was. So, and nice volume, 5.5 million shares. So I want to watch this one. And a lot of these I'm showing you, I won't just watch tomorrow, but I'll watch for the next several days because they can give nice setups. VSLR, I had this on the watch list going into today because of the gap, and I was focused on something else and never caught an entry in this one. And this one, what a move. I mean, huge. Having said that, I'm going to compare this one to EYES, not the company, not the story, but the chart. Okay, relatively new issue, completely beaten up since the IPO, right? Finally settled in. Then today, a big gap up on almost its biggest volume. So we have had 3 or 4 really nice trades in EYES since it looked like this. And I'll show you the chart real quick. EYES, you had the IPO, and then it just tanked, finally kind of found some support. And then if I take the recent, see the similarities, one of its biggest volume days ever on the gap up finally. So this kind of reminds me of what VSLR looks like. Now, I mean, it's not perfect, but all this says to me is you want to watch this one. With this kind of potential movement, I want to watch VSLR for the next several days. Being a day trader keeps me really nimble, and I can wait for the intelligent intraday setups and get some nice trades. And everybody in the chat room does a great job of stalking these two and spotting the setups before they happen. That's really important, guys. You want to be in a room where you get the alerts before they happen. You don't want a room where the moderator goes, "Oh, I just bought XYZ," and they're yelling it out, and you didn't even know they were watching XYZ. So you want to be in a room where you get the alerts ahead of time, all right, before the moderator buys it. ASTI. This one closed near its lows, so I like it less, but it's still worth having on watch. A nice volume spike. I had this one on Gap Play Watch this morning. Never got an entry in it, and it kind of tapered off the rest of the day. Let's look at it on 60-minute candles. So I hate the fact that this gave back almost all of its gains, but because of the volume, let's keep that on watch. If this gets, let's go back to 15s. I think this was the pre-market high. If this gets up over $1.55 tomorrow, this one, you can see here, there's not a lot in the way. You have this spike, and then you're above all of this trading, and you got this. So this one could really rip higher. Do it again. Over like $1.55-ish. So keep that one on watch. YY, nice bounce today on decent volume, but the reason I'm really watching this is it looks like in after hours it went up to $60. So I think they had earnings and settled in at 58.20 right now in after hours. After hour session still open, but it doesn't look like it's moving very much at the moment. So it's nicely up around here somewhere. So we want to watch that one tomorrow and see if it can get anything going. PEIX, very nice volume day. Had this one in the video last night that I was going to watch it for a gap play. This one I actually called as a gap play. This morning, when it looked like this, when this got to 1068 or 1067, something like that, I was already on the microphone telling everybody I like this one over 1070 or 1074-ish, somewhere around there. But I was basically over 1070, and you can see what happened. So it hit the 1070, ripped through the high of the day, and just really didn't look back till it got almost to 1220. That was a very nice trade. And I actually called this thing long again on this bounce at 1115 with a stop at 11, and it went all the way up to 1180. So I had PEIX alone made my day, and I think it was only those two, and one other trade that I took all day. I'm not exactly a psycho rapid fire trader. Very selective. PTEN. The only reason I'm watching this is because at the end of the day I was watching it, and it just was so strong. And look at that strong finish. All right, so I'm just wondering, a nice volume today, and you do have a gap fill possibly up through 20, but I'm just wondering if this volume means something, and it's over. Looks like the last 3 months of trading right now. So this one might give a nice push higher. On a short-term time frame, it's certainly extended. So this one should just be on watch, the next few days going forward. And then BIOC. Whole lot of action back here, and it's finally kind of settling in if you go to 15-minute candles. And this is what interests me. On a stock that makes crazy moves, all right, when they start to kind of settle in, I'll zoom in a little bit here. Something I like to look for. So there was the opening high on Tuesday, and these are 15-minute candles, so it never broke that, okay? This is about 30 minutes into the session. It put in its high on Wednesday, and then today put in its high in the opening, few minutes, and never broke it. So the last 3 days in a row, this did not break its early high, but it is finding support now around the 330 area. And so if we can, put in whatever the early high is, and then in the afternoon break it, this could give a really nice move. So I do want to watch BIOC, even though you look at the chart now and you say it's kind of calmed down and there's nothing exciting. These can, if you have them on watch and you get the right setup, they can still give a nice trade. You know what? My phone's ringing, so I'll leave it at that. All right? Thanks, guys.